Hello, Mark. My name is Elisa Lin Yixuan. My student number is S0441055. I'm a sophomore in NCUE. The topic is what your doctor won't disclose. The speaker is Leana Wen. They told me that I'm a traitor to my own profession, that I should be fired, have my medical license taken away, that I should go back to my own country. My email got hacked. In a discussion forum for other doctors, someone took credit for Twitter bombing my account. Now, I didn't know if this was a good or bad thing, but then came the response. Too bad it wasn't real bomb. I never thought that I would do something that would provoke this level of danger among other doctors. Becoming a doctor was my dream. I grew up in China, and my earliest memories are of being rushed to the hospital because I had such bad asthma that I was there nearly every week. I had this one doctor, Dr. Sam, who always took care of me. She was about the same age as my mother. She had this wild curly hair, and she always wore these bright yellow flowery dresses. She was one of those doctors who, if you fell and you broke your arm, she would ask you why you weren't laughing because it's your humorous. Get it? See, you'd grown, but she'd always make you feel better after having seen her. Well, we all have the childhood hero that we want to grow up to be just like, right? Well, I wanted to be just like Dr. Sam. When I was 8, my parents and I moved to the US, and ours became the typical immigrant narrative. My parents cleaned hotel rooms and washed dishes and pumped gas so that I could pursue my dream. Well, eventually I learned enough English, and my parents were so happy the day that I got into medical school and took my oath of healing and service. But then one day everything changed. My mother called me to tell me that she wasn't feeling well. She had a cough that wouldn't go away. She was short of breath and tired. Well, I knew that my mother was someone who never complained about anything. For her to tell me that something was the matter, I knew something had to be really wrong. And we found out that she had stage 4 breast cancer. Cancer that by then had spread to her lungs, her bones, and her brain. My mother was brave, though, and she had hoped. She went through surgery and radiation and was on her 3rd round of chemotherapy. When she lost her address book, she tried to look up her oncologist's phone number on the internet and she found it, but she found something else too. On several websites, he was listed as a highly paid speaker to a drug company, and in fact often spoke on behalf of the same chemo regimen that he had prescribed her. She called me in a panic, and I didn't know what to believe. Maybe this was the right chemo regimen for her, but maybe it wasn't. It made her scared and it made her doubt. When it comes to medicine, having that trust is a must, and when that true trust is gone, then all that's left is fear. There's another side to this fear. As a medical student, I was taking care of this 19-year-old who was biking back to his dorm when he got struck and run over by an SUV. He had 7 broken ribs, shattered hip bones, and he was bleeding inside his belly and inside his brain. Now imagine being his parents who flew in from Seattle, 2,000 miles away, to find their son in a coma. I mean, you'd want to find out what's going on with him, right? They asked to attend our bedside rounds where we discussed his condition and his plan, which I thought was a reasonable request and also would give us a chance to show them how much we were trying and how much we cared. The head doctor, though, said no. He gave all kinds of reasons. Maybe they'll get in the nurse's way. Maybe they'll stop students from asking questions. He even said, what if they see mistakes and sue us? What I saw behind every excuse was deep fear, and what I learned was that to become a doctor, we have to put on our white coats, put up a wall, and hide behind it. There's a hidden epidemic in medicine. Of course, patients are scared when they come to the doctor. Imagine you wake up with this terrible belly ache. You go to the hospital, we're lying in a strange place. You're on this hospital gurney. You're wearing this flimsy gown. Strangers are coming to poke and prod at you. You don't know what's going on to happen. You don't even know if you're going to get the blanket you asked for 30 minutes ago. But it's not just patients who're scared. Doctors are scared too. We're scared of patients finding out who we are and what medicine is all about. And so what do? We put on our white coats and we hide behind them. Of course, the more we hide, the more people want to know what it is we're hiding. The more fear then spirals into mistrust and poor medical care. We don't just have a fear of sickness, we have a sickness of fear. Can we bridge this disconnect between what patients need and what doctors do? Can we overcome the sickness of fear? Let me ask you differently. If hiding isn't the answer, what if we did the opposite? What if doctors were to become totally transparent with their patients? Last fall, I conducted a research study to find out what it is that people want to know about their healthcare. I didn't just want to study patients in the hospital, but everyday people. So my two medical students, Suhavi Thakur and Laura Jones, literally took their research to the streets. They went to banks, coffee shops, senior centers, Chinese restaurants, and train stations. What did I find? Well, when we asked people, what do you want to know about your healthcare? People responded with what they want to know about their doctors because people understand healthcare to be the individual interaction between them and their doctors. When we asked, what do you want to know about your doctors? People gave 3 different answers. Some want to know that their doctor is competent and certified to practice medicine. Some want to be sure that their doctor is unbiased and is making decisions based on evidence and science, not on who pays them. Surprisingly to us, many people want to know something else about their doctors. Jonathan, a 28-year-old law student, says he wants to find someone who is comfortable with LGBTQ patients and specializes in LGBT health. Serena, a 32-year-old accountant, says that it's important to her for her doctor to share her values when it comes to reproductive choice and women's rights. Frank, a 59-year-old hardware store owner, doesn't even like going to doctor and wants to find someone who believes in prevention first, but who is comfortable with alternative treatments, one after another. Our respondents told us that doctor-patient relationship is a deeply intimate one, that to show their doctors their bodies and tell them their deepest secrets, they want to first understand their doctor's values. Just because doctors have to see every patient doesn't mean that patients have to see every doctor. People want to know about their doctors first so that they can make an informed choice. As a result of this, I formed a campaign, Who's My Doctor, that calls for total transparency in medicine. Participating doctors voluntarily disclose on a public website not just information about where we went to medical school and what specialty we're in, but also our conflicts of interest. We go beyond the government in the Sunshine Act about drug company affiliations, and we talk about how we're paid. Incentives matter. If you go to your doctor because of back pain, you might want to know he's getting paid $5,000 to perform spine surgery versus $25 to refer you to see a physical therapist, or if he's getting paid the same things no matter what he recommends. Then we go one step further. We add our values when it comes to women's health, LGBT health, alternative medicine, preventive health, and end-of-life decisions. We pledge to our patients that we are here to serve you, so you have a right to know who we are. We believe that transparency can be the cure for fear. I thought some doctors would sign on and others wouldn't, but I had no idea of the huge backlash that would ensue. Within 1 week of starting Who's My Doctor, Medscape's public forum and several online doctors communities had thousands of posts about this topic. Here are a few. From a gastroenterologist in Portland, I devoted 12 years of my life to being a slave. I have loans and mortgages. I depend on lunches from drug companies to serve patients. Well, times may be hard for everyone, but try telling your patient making $35,000 a year to serve a family of 4 that you need the free lunch. From a orthopedic surgeon in Charlotte, I find it an invasion of my privacy to disclose where my income comes from. My patients don't disclose their incomes to me, but your patients' sources of income don't affect your health. From a psychiatrist in New York City, pretty soon we will have to disclose whether we prefer cats and 2 dogs, what model of car we drive, and what toilet paper we use. Well, how you feel about Toyotas or Continental won't affect your patient's health, but your views on a woman's right to choose and preventive medicine and end-of-life decisions just might. And my favorite, from a Kansas City cardiologist, more government-mandated stuff. Dr. Wen needs to move back to her own country. Well, 2 pieces of good news. First of all, this is meant to be voluntary and not mandatory. And second of all, I'm American and I'm already here. Laughter, a pause. Within a month, my employers were getting calls asking for me to be fired. I received mail at my undisclosed home address with threats to contact the medical board to sanction me. My friends and family urged me to quit this campaign. After the bomb